Now, what we're gonna do is introduce our our co-host, one of our co-hosts, all right, guest co-host, respected community activist, respected community leader, the chair of the mighty Newark Anti-Violence Coalition, all right, our sister, Queen Keisha Eure. All right, let's give Keisha a strong round of applause. All right. Nah, man. Look, I'm just a humble servant. All right, just a humble servant of the people right now. All right, just working strong, shoulder to shoulder, boot to boot. All right, with my brother Ed Riley, man. As we continue to kick in the door. All right, there's a radio show who said that they're the most dangerous show out there. I totally disagree with that. All right, I believe this show is the most dangerous show. Why? Because we talk politics.
Absolutely.
We break down the political system. We break it down. We make it just extremely understandable for a brother and sister on the block. All right, the thugs on the block, the gangbangers on the block, the everyday brother and sister on the block. We make it that simple for them to understand why we gotta really we got to use this vote thing, all right, as a tool to protect our interests, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, I'll be the first to tell you. I'm telling you, Keith, I did not, and my brother Ed Riley will tell you, I did not believe in the political system at all.
And most of
Not
our people don't.
Not at all. Didn't believe in the vote. Didn't vote. All right. I didn't start voting really until, man, I would say my late 20s. I did not believe in the vote, y'all, for real. All right, I remember when one of my friends asked me, this is back in 1988.
All right, you're showing your age.
Absolutely,
All right.
I'm cool with that. I'm an elder. Listen, I'm a black man that survived the streets of America.
Absolutely.
All right, there's a lot of black men who
right.
have bit the bullet when I was coming up, either due to drugs, right, or drug dealing, all right, or the prison system, right, who are gone now. All right, I survived all that.
That's right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, when I was a little kid, the heroin era, and then in the 80s, the crack era. Listen, I'm a boast and brag about my age. I'm not afraid to tell folk I'm in my 50s. And, and it's cool because, I grew up under those conditions, and we grew up with hip-hop, right, DJ Rhino? All right. So, we still can talk to the brothers and sisters on the block. It's amazing how I can still have a conversation about Cardi B, right? I'm in my 50s. But I still can have a conversation about Cardi B.
And you still be dancing to Cardi B.
Oh, no doubt. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Get
listen,
out of here.
I love hip-hop.
We're going to get into this. Let's get into our segment.
No doubt. Absolutely.
We're going to get into our segment today.
Break it down.
I'm co-hosting, and I'm excited to be here to co-host this segment. We have a very special guest.
Yes.
And we want to talk today about entrepreneurship, the importance of owning businesses, but also we want to talk about the experience of people that's in the community who stay in the community to own and to not leave, right? And so we want to just kind of get into this segment and talk to our young people and talk to the people here who are homegrown, who are Norkers, who think that everybody leaves. And so we have our very own Campbell here today, right?
Yes.
And we're going to give him a very special introduction, right?
Yes.
Give him a hand.
Yes.
And so just a little bit about him.
Man.
Because
I read about him a lot in the papers.
You do?
So I'm honored to have him.
And he's a humble brother, so we appreciate that.
No doubt.
He's very humble.
No doubt. But go ahead, Keisha.
And from a young age, growing up and playing baseball in Newark, Kai always felt that he can stay in the city and do his part to add to the inherent value of the community. After years of working in economic development and urban renewal, Kai launched his own small business, the popular Indian-themed lunch spot, Walla Burger. That's what he's known for. That's what we know. But he's going to give us some of the more historical pieces around what other work he's done. But we're going to get into it because Kai is a business owner. He's a homeowner. And he's a restaurateur here right in the city of Newark. He has a few spots, but I'm not going to spoil it for him and let him kind of tell his story about where he comes from and where we are now.
Peace. What's happening?
Peace, my brother. Peace.
Thank y'all for having me on.
Oh, we're honored, brother.
This is, like you said, it's a powerful platform. And when I asked me to do it, I was absolutely. I'm a big fan of griots and telling our stories and creating our own
narratives.
Exactly.
That's right.
Right.
Because
no doubt.
if you don't,
somebody else will.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And you have to
feel some type of way about that.
Like, you know, like we all say, Jerry Gant, you know, always document,
Mm-hmm.
always be taking, you know, pictures, writing stuff down, you know, whatever form you have, make a song about it, whatever it is, I don't care, you have to document. So,
Right.
No doubt, absolutely.
So yeah, so thank y'all.
Right.
Absolutely.
No, thank you, brother.
Right.
Yeah,
You more than deserve the platform.
Not yet. We're getting there. You know what I mean? But you know, we have this narrative where we say we're just doing what we're supposed to do. You know, what's normal to us. You know, what we think should be normal to everybody. You know, and just doing our small part. We're getting there. We're far from there. We're just chasing freedom. You know, so we have a long way to go. You know what I mean?
No doubt, absolutely. But
tell us about your journey.
Yeah.
And how you got started.
Born and raised here. You know, I grew up in the South Ward. My father is from here. Born and raised here. He was born like on some steps here. You know, one of many children. My mother is a transplant to Newark. She moved up here because her mother and her stepfather moved up here from the South because they just could not do what they wanted to do. And, you know, they were very, in their own right, very revolutionary people. My mother was a student activist here at Rutgers. Where she came up here to be an to be a student. Right. And was always she always got in trouble.
Right.
So, you know, she'll talk to you like, oh, I sang for Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? In my small town of Quincy, Florida, you know, and, you know, fighting actually the Klan. You know what I mean? Type of stuff.
Doubt.
My father was, you know, of that vanguard, you know, with Mr. Baraka and a lot of other folks.
The Black Liberation Movement.
Absolutely. Yes. So, you know, whether or not it was through education, my father's an educator here, and so as a teacher and as a principal and then as an administrator, always fighting for us. You know what I mean? Whether or not that was naming schools after us or putting in proper curriculum, which is even more important, and actually paving a way for younger people. Like, you know, my pops will be over there, and, you know, it's funny, my pops is 81 this year.
Really?
There's some customers of mine that are there every day. They walked up and was like, hey, is that Mr. Campbell? Like, he was my teacher. He was, you know, taught me whatever. He was my principal. And it, you know, he loves it, but it was just, you know, you see, you know, whoever superintendents afterwards, like, you know, Leon was, you know, came up under my father, or other teachers and, you know, other folks. But so that's really what I was bred into. I hate to use that word, you know, but like, you know, I feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was born to, you know, not be complacent, you know what I mean? And to challenge the status quo about certain things and to fight for, you know, freedom and chase certain things, you know what I mean? So growing up here in Newark in the 80s, you know, like you spoke of the crack and heroin, you know, era and stuff like that. It was tough.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And, you know, my mother being an activist, and, you know, I'm like, man, Mom, I can't walk to the store. You go before Avon and all of. She's like, hey, I not the Avon Avenue, I mean, Avon Barksdale and all that. She was like, I want my corners, and telling people to get off of her corners and stuff like that. You can't do that here. I'm like, Ma, I can't go and get Italian cheeseburger. Please. You don't understand. You don't understand. I just want a CNC and Italian cheeseburger. But no doubt. There's none of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But seeing that and being blessed to have a good education, I remember, you know, I used to walk to Harry Tubman to go to school.
Wow. You went to Harry Tubman, brother?
Yeah,
wow, man. All three of my sons went to Harry.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, people ask me, you know, where'd you go to school? And the first thing I say is Harry Tubman. I know they mean in college or something like that. Oh, I went to Harry Tubman, you know, in 10th Street. You know,
right.
And I was blessed to have other education, you know, and, you know, it just taught me that I should do something more, you know what I mean? And that more was just normal, you know what I mean? So when you every day sing the National Black Anthem, you know what I mean, that teaches something and instills something in you, you know what I mean? So that when I went to private schools, you know, my mother's like, listen, you're not going to have as much money as some of these people. I'm not going to have that car, but this sister works at Ralph Lauren, but I'm gonna get you a couple Ralph Lauren shirts. but you got to be as smart as them. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so I was just like, all right, cool. We gotta. I'm gonna hold that down. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
But that's that Harriet Tubman.
No
Right.
doubt. Big shout out to Harriet
Yeah,
Tubman,
absolutely.
man. That little brick school still there, still standing,
It's
brother.
one of the best elementary schools.
No doubt.
That you can,
No doubt.
you know, beg for.
I mean,
You know what
and it's in a neighborhood, brother. That's and Keisha's been on that front line, struggling to reclaim, brother.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? In fact, folks say in Newark, they said Harriet Tubman's on the number streets. You know, the number streets is where the sun don't shine.
Right.
It can be sunny outside, but you get to those number streets, brother, it get real dark.
Yeah.
It's serious out there.
But that's been a peaceful place and a refuge for us for many, many decades.
Absolutely.
And the people, the administrators, the teachers there that are still
man.
fighting there,
Right.
it is remarkable.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely.
It should be championed still, and it is a model, that we keep and we should replicate everywhere.
Right,
You know
that's a
what I'm
public school, y'all. We're not
Yeah.
talking about charter. No,
Yeah.
it's not charter or private. We're talking
Right.
about public school,
Yeah,
y'all.
absolutely.
So again, big shout out to Harriet Tubman. But go ahead, big brother.
So after that, was blessed to go to a good school. I went in Charlottesville, so I went to the University of Virginia. I studied economics there, and that was another learning experience. So, trying to, just find my place and footing in the world or whatever, but always with the mindset that, wherever I went, I'm like, damn, why can't we do that in Newark?
Right.
Whether or not it's just like idea thinking and generation to actual physical or literal implementation strategies. You know what I mean?
Right.
So always with the mindset that I will come back and try to save where I'm from, but through economics.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I mean?
brother.
So so when I came home, Mayor James came in, he brought me down, sat me down, was like, "You used to swim with my son, I'm gonna give you a job. I heard you got some good ideas."
Wow.
Gave me a job and was like, "All right, go to work."
No
You know
doubt.
what I mean?
And to our listeners and folks checking us out on
Watching.
social media, Brother James, we're talking about is the former mayor of the city of Newark. All right, Mayor Sharp James. All right.
Absolutely.
Give
See?
him an opportunity.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, Raz and Baye Wilson actually gave me my first job. So I was a manager for the National Hip Hop Political Convention that we had here in Newark.
Okay.
So people was like, Fayemi Shakur,
Wow.
Anthony Smith, and I mentioned Raz and Baye, and people from all around the country. Those are just the local people, Susu and all those folks. But so I was the guy in the office, and I did a couple of programs like intergenerational dialogue.
Right.
So those folks gave me a seat at the table. I was like, I should not be talking to these people. You call in people and like, and then they say, oh, so I see you, calling your cell phone back then. I'm like, yo, man, Cornell West just called me back. Like, what?
Wow.
All these act like extreme, these elders that I was able to, break bread with was amazing.
Right.
And so then transferring and getting into, economic development under Mayor James, which was there was some wins and listen, I tell everybody, I worked under Mayor James and under Mayor Booker, so I worked under Sharp and Corey, and I basically got paid to go to grad school.
Really?
And I didn't get paid a lot, but I got,
That's the learning. That's where the learning took place.
You have no idea.
Right. That's where the real learning happens.
So I worked on everything from the Home Depot here to the stuff that's actually coming to fruition now. You know what I mean, like the Whole Foods stuff like that.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope.
So in many different aspects, I mean parks, stuff like that, or like I said, larger projects here. Or if you see Halsey Street, it's coincidental and ironic that my first job was 2 doors down from the current store. But then I implemented a strategy where we revitalized Halsey Street.
Wow.
That led to a lot of the stuff that's going on now.
Yeah. Halsey Street looked totally different from when I came up, man. For real.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, man. I can't even recognize it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
but the spirit of it, though, there's a spirit on Halsey Street too.
So when I used to, my grandmother lived to be 93, and she would tell me, I used to swim in the Passaic. I'm like, what?
The Passaic River.
And she didn't have 4 eyes and 6.
That's what I'm saying. The Passaic River.
Right. Not no
wow.
more.
And then say, then I would go to Haynes or something like that.
Wow.
So it's funny to see all of that come back, and then to see where it went, in that heroin and crack era, when urban flight, where we just people left and resources. People talk about people, but resources left.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Which is the main problem in which I saw, that I wanted to bring back, and how to direct resources to where they needed to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I learned under those two mayors, and they gave me some very good experiences. I stayed under Corey. He gave me a job and a chance, and we basically revitalized economic development. As an agency for the city, and going after different things, and started a new economic development corporation. I was a part of that. Team, good or bad, and then I tell people, Sharp threatened to fire me, Corey did fire me. So,
wow.
We just have difference of opinions.
Right.
I'm a very, very, I believe in very, very small things. You know what I mean? I think that for our people, you cannot create Disney World. I had a client, I'm not going to say who the client was, and he was like, I want to recreate Disney World. And he was an urban mayor later in life.
Right.
And he was like, I want to recreate Epcot Center. I was like, okay. You know what I mean? That's not how this is going to work well for most of people. Right. It's going to work well for a couple of people, but it's not going to work well for most of people. And I have this thing where I think we all should have a chance. You know what I mean? Right. And you do that through small, and the small builds a market, and you build from within, and then people can, gain knowledge, they can gain power, they can gain freedom, but you can't just, transplant. Right. You have to build a system. You know what I mean? Right. And so that's really, to me, like at the time, the city was very focused on broader market. Right. And I was just like, broader market is a very big lift. Focus on Halsey Street. You know what I mean? Right. It has these small pieces that where you can gain a lot of traction. And I thought, this is where, if this is where Tretch and Vinny and KG had the naughty store. Right, that's right. I'm like, this is it. You remember that? You remember the naughty store on Halsey?
I forgot all about
that. And if, where Dan's, before Dan was, selling lids, they was flipping them, hot dogs and.
Go ahead, bro. That's right. You remember that? You remember that, brother?
That was my favorite place in the world, bro. I don't care when I tell them all the time, like, they are a main inspiration by why I did this, because if I got good grades, true story, if I got honor roll, my mother would bring me Italian double Italian cheeseburger down there. She was like, I got you for lunch. Wow, you know what I mean? Man. It was never like I didn't get like money, and she was like, I'm bringing you a double Italian cheeseburger. I'm gonna bring it to school. Wow. So I'm not doing it. I was just, that double Italian cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Wow, that was really,
you bringing it back right there. And Brother Sabir's used to be down there in Halsey. The Muslim steak and take spot, man.
It was the place. Man. You know what I mean? And it wasn't. People think, oh, this is new. I'm like, no. It's been fly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. We a lot of people are just getting familiar with that, and y'all are catching up. But this was where it was. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of people that carried the torch through a lot of decades, when a lot of resources left, that kept it sane, you know what I'm saying? And kept, that light on that railroad to say, yo, listen, this is the way, this is the path, this is, and a lot of them are still there, and a lot of people are gone, I mean, you think about like Halsey, James was in Halsey Street.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And our brother too, man. I to this day I don't know the brother's name, but he's still there. He's the brother on Halsey, and I believe it was Halsey and West Market Street. He's a brother that said, black man living in Chinese world.
Check it out, man.
Check it out, man. Check it out. Y'all remember that brother, right? Yeah. Oh, come on, man. Yeah. He's still there, man.
That's been years.
At
least 20.
What?
At least.
Like 30. Like,
right.
I mean, I'm saying I went to North Tech High School, and on my way to the Penny Arcade, hanging, sometimes skip the school, brother be out there, check it out.
Still selling.
Wow.
And he's definitely an example of an entrepreneur. I want
Yeah,
to show
man.
you
Absolutely.
Yes.
like one of the first examples.
That's
Yes.
it's like Lawrence Fishburne,
Right,
you know,
right.
in school days where everybody's saying wake it up.
Right.
You're like, check it out. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like,
yes.
yo, it's like, damn, you can,
Right.
you know, it's
Influence.
a, you know, oh man, yeah.
I was gonna say when you talking about Halsey, I'm like, yo, he came up in my mind. I said, I to this day I don't know the brother's name, you know, but everybody knows him. Check it out, man. Like you just said, check it out, check it out, man. You know,
Absolutely.
but whew, wow, man, you bringing it back right now, man.
So it's been a lot of things that, you know, and institutions down there, you know.
Yeah.
And, so it's just that continuum, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So when I was with the city and, you know, getting that, you know, graduate degree or whatever of sorts, you know, I just preached that. You know what I mean? So then I started a company called Peyton Madison with my partner, Ryan Johnson, where we focus on urban distress.
What was the name of it?
Peyton Madison.
Peyton.
So I grew up, Peyton Madison. So his son was named, his first child was named Peyton.
Oh.
And I grew up in Madison.
Okay.
So we was like, if I ever have the privilege to own the company, you know, legally, I'm gonna name it that. You know, I'm gonna name it after the block I live in. Or whatever.
Madison,
Yeah.
South Ward.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Clean Hill.
Right.
So yeah, so we started that company and we started to move and do things for different people and institutions locally and around the country a little bit. And so yeah, that's how I got to start. And then through that is how we started the whole idea was to make enough capital so that we could start our own companies.
Okay.
So where we were, I was in love with M&A, mergers and acquisitions. You know what I mean? You see, you know, movies like Wolf of Wall Street or what's the or Wall Street.
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, man, I want to get in it. And I'm just like, but I don't really want to go to law school. I want to get an MBA. I want to do my own thing. And so we basically were like, man, if we went to all of these small businesses, these mom and pops, and like, hey, this sister can really bake her butt off, but she doesn't know about business.
Right.
So I'm gonna be like, all right, listen, how about I inject a little bit of capital and we become partners? And we would do that around, like, you know, some smaller companies, and then we were about to buy a portfolio of buildings downtown, and there were vacancies. And so part of my job for Corey was I would literally fly around the country or meet people that would fly to Newark and preach to them about how great Newark was as an asset. You know what I mean? And I mean, I met with every major retailer in the entire country. That's without exaggeration, right? So, like I don't know if it still works. I used to have Emmett Smith's cell phone. You know what I'm saying? We were driving around John and all these people, Kenan Ivory Wayans and Brad Pitt. You know, in some blocks, I mean, you would not believe. You know what I'm saying? And and a lot of people, you know, that his name would open a lot of doors. They would get me meetings and stuff like that. But for some reason, people take meetings and then they'd be honest. Like, listen, bro, I like that guy. We're not investigating. You know what I mean? And so a couple people stuck. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that ShopRite, I negotiated that. Chipotle was here because for 4 years, the head of real estate for Chipotle was, as a personal favor to me, twice a year come to Newark and be like, hey, listen, why don't we just drive around that Forest Hill and Weequay neighborhood? Yeah, I like those places. You know, because I like how you tell stories about Weequay. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
She's like, look, we're not going to do a Chipotle in Newark. You know? But I'm like, you buy enough burritos, and I love your spirit. And so eventually it went from we're not doing it to they really like this nigga. You know what I mean? And we like, and then to like, hey, somebody's thinking about something, to like, hey, we're about to do it. I'm like, what? Chipotle? We about to have a Chipotle downtown Newark? Oh my gosh!
Wow.
You know what I mean? And places like Dinosaur Barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Indigo Hotel, stuff like that. Courtyard by Marriott. Those are things that I, you know, help negotiate and stuff like that. So, you know, but when I met with the burger guys, Smash Burger, Elevation Burger, Five Guys, they all said very key distinctive words. We don't like the market. We don't like the demos. To me, that meant, I don't like black and brown.
Right, absolutely.
And I don't like pogos.
That's cool. That's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely
they
cool
wouldn't
for
say
black
it,
and brown. Yeah.
you know, but some people would be honest with like, oh, we don't, you know, like Trader Joe's, right? But I already know Trader Joe's goes after certain demo. Like they literally will decide on where to put a Trader Joe's by how many postgraduate degrees are within a certain radius.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
So if your area doesn't have 80% population with postgraduate, meaning MBA, doctorate,
Right.
lawyer, JD, something, they will just not.
Go there.
They won't go there.
Mm.
And then if they decide to go there, it's still a 5-year waiting list.
Really?
You know what I mean? So you're like, why isn't there a Trader Joe's in blah blah blah?
Right.
Well, this is why. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's so, but so my thing was with the burger guys are saying, I was like, yo, man, we buying these buildings, we have some vacancies, we'll do our own.
Mm.
And I've been making, this type of food. Like, I told you my mother's like, listen, you gotta be smarter. You can have a couple of, some polo shirts from the outlet because of our homegirl that works there, and you gotta be able to cook. So I was like, man, I got good grades, and sisters like how I cooked in college. So I was like, all right, we in there. So I was like, people like, I like how they make these burgers. So I was like, oh, let's go to our own.
Tell us about your burgers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the time, I was like, listen, nobody's ever done a burger joint with an Indian twist. No, like all burger joints are very fashionable. It's like the sexy thing to do.
Right.
I was like, yo, we're going to do it with an Indian twist because nobody's ever done it. It translates really well. Instead of milkshakes, we're going to do lussies because now it's healthier and it tastes better. And it's just a flyer product. You know what I mean? And then we're going to infuse the different meats with different Indian sauces and stuff like that. And we're going to have other Indian accoutrements or whatever. And it's just going to work. And it did. You know what I'm saying? And we ended up not buying these buildings. But I was still so pissed off that all these people were denying us, saying that we were not good. But people don't understand when all of your income is just, is disposable.
Right.
You got to spend it. There's a reason why certain folks, us, spend so much on beauty products and fast foods and eating out and stuff like that. Is because we're just trying, we spend so much on rent, and then you have nothing else.
Right.
People are searching for like, yo, bro, I need something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I need something, a hope or something.
Right.
And so that's what I think. I was like, listen, I think, and the culture, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, man, we like good. So you mean to tell me that we can go out to Route 22 or Route 3 and all these places, and it's cool for us to come out there and to take the bus to work or drive out there and spend money out there, but you won't come and invest in our neighborhood?
Right.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? So we just do our own, and that's what we do.
That's dope.
How long have you been open in Walla Burger?
So, Burger Wall's been open it's been open 4.5 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit more than 4.5 years.
Dope. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, we started construction in earnest like a little bit more than 5 years ago. Like we, local, it was me and a lot of brothers that I know from certain Clayton Place. Yo, come down, help me build these, this bar, help me hang this HVAC. It looks like a hole in the wall because we literally built it with our own hands.
Oh.
Really?
Like, I just learned about the passing of a brother today that we could have not opened this without. His name was Wilson, electrician, Puerto Rican brother. And when I tell you, like, he's in there and he's doing his thing, he's like, God, man, you in here? You really in here with me every day? I'm like, yeah, bro. You got shocked. I got cut. I come in the sheet metal and you almost electrocuted yourself. You know what I'm saying? But we
that's
did
the
it.
impact
Yeah.
when you do it with your own hands.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impact.
And
When you make it your own.
Yeah, and I told you I worked for the city for many years. I don't. My parents are educators, and certain folks. I didn't come from a lot of bread. You know what I'm saying? I never was hungry, but I didn't come from the type of money that it takes to open up certain places. So, my father's one of those dudes that if he makes $1, he saves 90 cents of it. So it's like, and I really wish I was that great.
Right.
But it was like one of those things. So I've always, since I was young, like had a hustle. Like I went to private schools. I'm buying money from the bodega. I mean, candy from the bodega and charging them 4 times, 5 times the price.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I paid my way, helped pay my way through college by selling white tees. Literally, I'm
legitimately.
Literally, I'm buying tees on 28th Street in the city.
Right.
I'm taking 15 dozen white tees down to Virginia.
Wow.
And I'm making 10 stops. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
But rent was paid, got a car, and I graduated with almost no debt. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where, got to find a way.
Right.
So that's how we opened the restaurant. We got to find a way. So we put all of our bread in, and then it's hard. Like we were talking before the segment, like how to do things. The first week we opened, we bought out 2 partners, and they were supposed to be the managing partners with me. So we opened on a Monday or Tuesday. Wednesday we bought out 1. Thursday we bought out a 2nd.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Why? Just because?
Just cause.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So in something that I was supposed to be, I got a gig.
Right.
I was supposed to be there during the day.
Right.
You know, I got 2 little kids under the age of 2. You know what I mean? At the time that this restaurant opens, oh no, I'm gonna have time for my kids. Nope.
Right.
All of a sudden, I'm there from 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
6 days a week. You know what I mean? And it was man, it's
tough.
not for the faint of heart. It's cold
Right,
out there.
right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right. So that's what I wanted you to talk a little bit about,
Yeah.
because we have young people, right, that's
Yes,
listening, and we have
absolutely.
people who think that because people look at you, right,
Right.
and people see people who got stuff,
Right.
and they don't know the work that it takes in order to get it, to maintain it,
Oh, yeah.
and manage it, and so they see the glow up, right,
Right.
but they don't see behind the scenes of what it took to get the glow up.
I'll show you a text I sent to my brother. Grew up with me, Sharif Talbert, Navy. You know, has his own clothing brand now, Geekonomics. I sent him a text message last night and said, bro, we made it look too easy. Because people see it and they're like, oh, no. And I'm like, people all the time. And so and this is actually my background. So I was a guy, if you were in Newark, I would tell every council person, you got somebody from here, you got somebody that looks like us, send them to me. I'm the only one in this room. I want you to understand. I'm the only person that look like us in these meetings.
Right.
So when I'm talking about like the deals that were struck here, this is not fabrication or hyperbole. The mayor, and then it was me.
Wow.
You know, and sometimes the mayor would not be in that room. I'm
Right.
the only person that looked like us
Right.
talking about how are we going to fund something, $150 million of, you know, public finance.
Right.
You know, what do bonds look like? What does tax increment finance look like?
Wow.
There's nobody, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so there's very little that you can teach me about that type of stuff. But I was like, I'm the only one here.
Right.
Wow.
And I'm here. Like,
Right.
they would say, Kai, why are you so mad?
Right.
And I'm like, you don't understand. Why
Right.
aren't you mad?
Right.
Right.
Er.
Right.
Because I have to worry about where we're building it, how we're building it, who's going to live there, who's going to build it, you know, who's going to shop there. Because you know what? Because I know these people. I literally know these people on these blocks.
Right.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? These people that you know, oh, well,
Right.
the demos. I'm like,
So,
dude, that's my cousin.
Right.
That literally might be my sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So it became, you know, people think that it is, if you are good at something, that's what it takes. So, you know, the Roots brothers playing some great music. But,
I know.
you know,
Hey, that's
so-
DJ Rhino, man. That's the
so-
greatest DJ in the universe right there.
So
you know, we got to hold them back a little bit. But go ahead, bro.
The Roots album, Game Theory, right?
Right.
And people want to talk about game theory. So game theory and economics, you know, we can break that down.
Right.
And if we break that down, there's 4 different scenarios in business. You can be very good at something, right? And there's a luck component, right? And I can talk about luck in the restaurant industry all day long. So the optimal situation is you're very good at something and you're very lucky, right? So Bragman's Delicatessen, which I can talk about later, which we just bought at the beginning of the year, has been in business since 1937.
Talk about it
right?
now.
So Bragman's Delicatessen,
Right.
one of the last 2 original Jewish delis in the city, along with Hobbies,
Right.
since 1937. You cannot, water can't exist that long without a lot of luck.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
So,
right.
and you have to be really good at something. So
Right.
that's the optimal, right, in that game
Right,
theory.
right.
It's very good and it's been very lucky, right?
Right.
You can be very good and unlucky.
Right.
Name your favorite restaurant in the world, the number one place on nostalgia, right? Oh my God, when I was a kid, I
Right.
used to whatever.
Yeah.
I guarantee you,
Right.
if they don't own their building, even if they do own their building, at some point they've either been about to close
That's
or
right.
have closed.
That's right.
Mm.
That's right.
So, and a lot of that is luck.
Right.
Because again, like it's like, damn, well, I don't know, we had a fire. Hobbies had a fire the other day.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
thing you got good insurance
Right,
and
yeah.
all this other stuff, and the fire
Right.
was contained. But that's, you know, they could have been unlucky. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, you have to have a lot of stuff go right.
Right.
And then a lot of stuff got to go right for your customers. Because they got to have the money.
Right.
You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? Oh, we haven't had a war that has emptied people's pockets. We've had some great recessions in poor folks, been staying poor folks, and you lucky that you sell a product that they can afford.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stuff like that.
Right. Right.
So one of the things
Right.
that we, you know, so you can be really good and really lucky. You can be really good and unlucky.
Right.
You can be bad and lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Names, I know a lot of spots, and I'm like,
Right.
that's trash.
But they
yeah.
stay open.
Open.
Absolutely.
And people,
I know a lot of spots
Right.
as
and
well.
I'm not even talking about
Like that.
restaurants. You could talk about
Right.
whatever, and it's like, yo, and it's like
Little dirty spots.
They just love
Jokers going there because it's dirty.
Yeah.
Like a little dirty
A
food
lot
is
of
good.
Man, we changing a lot of things, including
Right.
the culture and Bragman's. But don't change nothing. Keep this dirt on this wall. I mean, literally, people say, keep this dirty.
Right.
I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, we got to change something.
No doubt,
Right.
no
You know
doubt.
what I'm saying?
And for our listeners, Bragman's is on
Hawthorne Avenue.
Hawthorne Avenue, Newark, New
Mhm.
Jersey, and South Ward. All right, because you know we got folks from all over the world
That's
tuning in
watching.
right now.
Mhm.
You know, so they were like, "Where's that spot at?" You know what I'm saying?
World famous Bragman's
Right.
delicatessen on an even more famous Hawthorne Avenue.
Right.
I've been in very remote places in the world. I mean, not even Jersey. I've been
Right.
in places
And
in
people know that place.
India, and people are like, I've heard of Avon Avenue. I've heard of Hawthorne
Wow.
Avenue.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, you know, so you can be really good, really
Right.
lucky, really good, unlucky. You can be really bad and lucky.
Right.
You can be really bad and unlucky. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, well, that you failed because, you know, yeah, I told y'all suck. It ain't always like that. Everybody has a bad day. And if your bad day happens on an unlucky day, you're done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people, I tell people all the time, we tell our team, you know, most people will give you a second chance. It's how you respond to that mess up. Like we mess up all the time, right? But it's how you react to that mess up in that, you know, people say, oh, no, you had a bad day. They come back, and if you come back and it's strong, they will, you know, they will come back another time. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it comes down
That's
to.
what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up, my brother. For real.
Yeah.
So Kyle, we are going to wrap you up, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate all the jewels that you
Yeah,
dropped.
appreciate it.
No doubt. No doubt. Absolutely.
Burger Walla
Burger
is
Walla
on Halsey Street.
47 Halsey Street.
Okay.
Bragman's Delicatessen 393 Hawthorne Ave. We say Burger Walla on Halsey. Bragman's on the Hawthorne. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Dope.
Because we want to be institutions and beacons in these places. You know what I mean?
Right.
For a lot of different people, it's more than just a restaurant. There are places. Their sisters and brothers literally come to me in tears, like, "Yo, I'm so happy that you bought Bragman's."
And people are
You know?
proud of you, and we are
Yeah.
extremely proud of you. We thank you for your work.
No
we
doubt.
thank you for your
Absolutely.
mission. We thank you
Yeah,
for
I mean,
knowing the mission.
No, it's we're doing. I'm not an artist. I mean, we try to be activists in what we're
Right.
trying to do, but
Right.
it's y'all do one part, I do a part,
Right.
and if collectively, you know, that's where we're at. You know
That's
what I'm
what's
saying?
up.
So I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
And you know, we have another project that we're gonna announce. So if you follow us on all of our social media, either Burger Walla or Bragman's Deli, either on IG or Facebook,
Right.
we'll have to make a very large announcement in the next couple
Really?
of days about a new project,
Dope.
a couple projects that we're working on.
Dope.
Okay.
Absolutely. And this is a project that, I mean, you talked about danger. We're very much seeking to make people very uncomfortable.
Wow.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Dope.
saying?
All
Yeah.
right.
That's what's up,
We
brother.
look forward to that project.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
But before we let you go, we have the question that we can't let you leave without.
Actually, we've asked every single guest on this show, seriously, from Sharpton's and Jesse's, you name it, right? But we couldn't, unfortunately, we couldn't get Reverend Jesse Jackson to answer this question because he was already rhyming. You know, he was rhyming already. I'm serious, we couldn't, you know, and it was our hip hop question. He was gone, you know, so he's the only one, you know, that didn't.
That's okay. He's not a hip hop generation, but
Right.
we've had
Right.
a president that's been influenced by hip hop,
Right.
and President Obama. We
Right.
have a couple mayors now that have been the
Yeah.
result of hip hop. Raz is the
Absolutely.
first hip hop
Right.
mayor.
Right.
Think
Right.
about that. We
Yes.
started a hip hop political convention
Yes.
here in Newark
That's
in
right, brother.
2003.
Yes, sir.
His brother is a mayor. He's
Yes, sir.
around the world preaching the culture of hip hop.
No
So,
doubt,
yeah,
absolutely. So, you know, we've asked, and we've had many guests on the show. I mean, from elected officials, black, white, Asian, gay, lesbian, other, right? Community leaders, clergy. We've asked all this hip hop questions. So, Keisha, you ready? Oh, no,
Ready.
I'm taking it away. You gonna take it away?
All right. The question is, who is your favorite hip hop artist
Oh man.
Artist or group?
or group?
Right.
Man. I was reading a lot about Public Enemy today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is, I don't have favorites. Like, I don't have, I'm wearing a Basquiat t-shirt.
Yeah, I see that.
I mean, but
yes,
I'm influenced by a lot of different, my daughters are named after, or partially named after people like Nina Simone and Frida Kahlo. But at the same time, like, having a favorite, but I will say that, you know, for what, right? So if we want to talk about certain things, like the culture, right? It doesn't get bigger than the biggest movie stars in the world are people like Will Smith, Ice Cube.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like the fact that I, you know, remember buying Mama Say Knock You Out from the bodega.
Wow.
LL Cool J. I don't care what anybody says. I want a Jeep right now.
Dope.
You know, people like Black Thought. We talked about the Roots. Big Pun. Big Daddy Kane, Rakim.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead,
and then Nas and all.
All right.
I mean, but the people that I've been influenced the most are more so producers. You know what I'm saying? Like Premier. If I pass tomorrow, I want y'all to just play Premier beats.
Wow. I know you heard that, right?
No doubt. DJ
Premier.
Big
like,
shout out to
DJ
Premier.
Dr. Dre.
Yes.
Pharrell is is a game-changing individual.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm like, yo, he's at my table. If I get a seat at the table to have people over for dinner, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that. I mean, it's hard, man.
That's all right.
So you say hip hop.
So look, favorite hip hop artist, or one of your favorite hip hop artists, or group?
If I'm gonna say hip hop artist, I'm gonna say DJ Premier.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, DJ Premier, you got that, DJ Rhino, no doubt. All right, and let me tell you something, brother. You know, man, brother, you are inspiration for a lot of us, for real, man. I read your article in the Star Ledger, and I just, put pride on my face, man. I mean, big smile came on my face, I should say, and a lot of pride came into my spirit when I saw you doing your thing. I didn't know you at the time, but I was like, that's what's up, man. Black man coming back home and creating businesses, man.
I appreciate it, man.
That's what's up.
We're doing a small part. We're not there yet. We're getting there. And hopefully we all get free sometime.
No doubt. I'm gonna tell you something, brother. And see, that's the beautiful thing about this melanin, man. We don't age, man. You look like you in your 20s, black man.
I appreciate that, man. I just got a shave, man.
Brother, you look like you in your 20s, man. You look like you about 20 years old.
27.
Woo, brother. No, seriously, brother. You look like you're 20 years old, black man. Young brother, man.
I appreciate it, man. We got good genes in our family.
No doubt.
And that healthy eating from Burger Wild.
Okay.
No doubt.
Go vegetarian, half the month.
No doubt.
At Bragman's, we sell a lot of meat, but there's nothing wrong with being a vegetarian. My father's been a vegetarian for 60 years. Half the month I try to be. So
that's what's up.
It's about balance.
Again, Brother Cop, before you go, please promote your businesses to our listeners, to our folks on social media.
So,
all right.
Burger Waller, 47 Halsey, or on Halsey, Bragman's Deli on Hawthorne since 1937. We appreciate the whole community. These are places that have been buttressed. We are but for the community. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
They are They are our luck. You
That's
know what I'm
what's
saying?
up.
So I appreciate that.
That's what's up. Keisha?
Before we go and we let DJ Rhino do his thing, I would be remiss if we didn't announce or at least say something about today being the 52nd anniversary of the Newark Rebellion.
No doubt, absolutely.
People's Organization for Progress had a march and rally today, and to commemorate it every year they do.
That's right.
And so we have to always celebrate our history, tell our narrative, right? So it don't get written out of the history. And so on the heels of the 52nd anniversary of the Newark Rebellion, we want to pay homage to all of the people who lost their lives, but for all of the freedom fighters who picked up, to keep us aware and to make some things happen and to create businesses, out of, the rebellion that happened.
No doubt.
So we want to pay homage and we want to mention the rebellion.
No doubt. And before you go, Sister Keisha, you have any announcements? You constantly got boots on the ground, addressing the issues of violence and all kinds of violence programs that you have in place now in the city of Newark, or putting in place in the city of Newark to reduce the level of violence. Let me just say this too. Seriously, really on some real, right? And I don't know if any would here, but it's been kind of quiet, this summer, man. Right now, I'm thinking about when we started the Newark Anti-Violence Coalition, man. There was so many murders. so many. I
mean,
mean, on a daily. I'm talking on a daily basis.
There's
And on a
things
daily
happening.
basis, it was like 4 or 5. You know, like
Right.
three bodies, 4 bodies. You know what I'm saying?
We was averaging about 100 a year.
Yes, absolutely.
So, although it's been quiet, there
Right.
has been some things happening.
Right.
There has been shootings, there has been carjackings, there have been, violence and stuff taking
Right.
place. Not as much,
Right.
As we've heard and know, but those of us that got boots on the ground, we know that things are happening. We are still on the heels of the King Stop Killing Kings movement.
Absolutely.
Where we're going into the neighborhoods,
Right.
working neighborhoods.
You got a
to
big shout out in the
neighborhoods.
Final Call newspaper. That's the Nation of Islam's national newspaper, y'all.
Yep, the new article,
Yes.
the new edition came out with
Yeah.
King Stop Killing Kings
Right.
featured in it
Right.
to start some conversation around agreements for
Right.
conflict resolution and mediation of
Yes.
violence in the community.
Right.
The North Anti-Violence Coalition is coming up on its 10-year
Yes,
anniversary.
10
July
years.
20th will be a 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
In terms of any other announcements, tomorrow is Afro Beats
Yes.
in Military Park.
Right.
We have a bunch of things taking place in the next couple of
No
days.
doubt, no doubt.
Shakur Stevenson will be fighting at the
Yes.
Prudential Center. Our
Yes.
very own Shakur Stevenson.
New York's own,
Please,
yes.
Absolutely. Make sure we
The city's on
support
fire
our
in a great
youth.
way.
Absolutely, in a positive way.
Right.
So
Best
we
weekends to be in the city was amazing.
absolutely. So we promote up, things that's happening, negatively, but we gotta always push out our positive things that are taking place. North always have some great things happening going on.
July 20th. Wow, man. 2009 we started NABC. Wow.
Absolutely.
10 years, right?
And the fight continues.
No doubt, no doubt.
It's what is it? Protracted.
That's right.
It's a protracted struggle.
That's right. It's a long struggle.
Long struggle.
No doubt, no
But
doubt.
boots
And,
on the ground.
and in the spirit of NABC, right, we say stop the shooting, stop the killing, stop the violence, black power, all power to the people,
Peace in the streets. That's right.
No doubt, absolutely, y'all.